Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel CashBee, or welcome if you're tuning in for the first time. My name is Aisha. I'm a new cash stuffer and a new immigrant in Canada, and this is my April bill swap / month-end review video. Okay, hope you all had a lovely month. I hope April was kind to all of you. I'm feeling a little under the weather today, so I'm not going to talk much. So let's just dive straight into the bill swap. I have some money here that I pulled from the bank, as well as some placeholders that I'm going to be using in my binders. So let's begin with counting what I have on the tray. So I've got 100, 200, 300, 400, 500 and 600 in placeholders, and I hope that's enough. Then I have $100 bills, so 700, 750, 800, 850. So 850 is what we are beginning with, and after the bill swap we should have $850, but in smaller denominations. So let's start with our sinking funds. And first up is emergency. And in emergency we have $900. So let's see here, 600 already in the bank. And then here we have 100, 150, 200, 250, 300. So this 300 is going back to the bank, and we'll put in 300 placeholders. So let's see, 1, 2, 3. So emergency still has 5, 6, 7, 8, 900, which is what the tracker says. Next up is health, and health has 130, 50, 70, 80, 90, 100, 10, 20, 30. And I do want to keep some smaller bills for this, but let's swap 5 10s for a 50. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 10s for a 50. So health still has 50, 100, 120, 130. Next up is household, and somebody asked me a question about my groceries, that I don't mention groceries enough. So basically household includes groceries as well as household supplies. So that's why I don't talk about groceries separately. I used to have that as a separate category, but I consolidated it, and now household includes both of these categories. So household should have 160, 1, 10, 20, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 160. And I do want to keep some smaller bills for this as well, but we can reduce the number of 5s in here. So let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20. Yeah, I think let's just do that. So 5, 10, 15, 20. And let's get 2 10s for now, and then later on when we have 20s we can just swap 2 10s for a 20. So household still has 100, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 55, 60, 160. I need the smaller bills here because sometimes I purchase things online, and then when I have to unstuff, it's easier to have smaller bills. So that's household, but let's come back to this when we have 20s with us. Next is spending, and spending should have 130. So 50, 100, 110, 15, 20, 25, 30. And let's just swap 2 5s for a 10. So 10, and we get a $10 bill. So spending still has 50, 100, 10, 20, 25, 30. Next is parents, and let's see what we can do here. They should have 140, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 10, 20, 30, 40. 140. Okay, let's see, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So instead of these, let's get a 50. And then we could do 2 20s here, but again, we don't have any 20s on the tray, so we'll have to come back to parents as well. But it still has 50, 100, 10, 20, 30, 40. So let's hope we get some 20s in the next envelope. So we are coming back to household and to parents. Travel. Now travel is a long-term saving because I am saving up for my air tickets to India basically whenever I get to travel. My goal is 3,000, so this can have placeholders, and yes, we have a lot of 20s in here. All right, so let's just see. This should have 230. So 50, 70, 90, 110, 130, 150, 170, 210, 220, 30, 40, 45, 50. It has 250. Did I count that right? 50, 70, 90, 110, 130, 150, 170, 210, 220, 30, 40, 45, 50, 250. But the tracker says 230. What happened here? Okay, give me a minute, guys. I'm gonna have to pause and figure out what happened. Okay, so I was just counting it wrong, guys. I am not feeling so well today. Okay, let's try it again. It is correct. It is 230. I was just counting it wrong. So 50, 70, 90, 110, 130, 150, 170, 190, 200, 210, 220, 225, 230. So it is correct. What we'll do is we'll just leave a 20 and a 10. So this should be 200. Let's keep this aside for a second. 20, 40, 60, 80, 1, 150, 170, 180, 190, 195, 200. So 200 going back to the bank, and we will put in 2 placeholders of $100. So let's grab 2 placeholders. So that's 200, which will represent the 200 that I just put on the tray and which will go to the bank. So 200, 20, 30. Next is self-care, and self-care has 55, 20, 30, 40, 45, 50, 55. But I don't want to do anything with this. I need the smaller bills for self-care, so we'll just leave it as is. Next is YouTube. And YouTube should have 30, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So let's just get rid of these 4 5s and get a 20 now that we have 20s. Alright, so YouTube still has 30. Next is home decor, and it should have 85, 50, 70, 85, and there's nothing that we can do here. It is as condensed as it can be. So 85 in home decor. Next is CashBee, and it should have 150. So 50, 100, 110, 20, 30, 40, 50. So instead of having another 50, I think I'm gonna just add in 2 20s in here. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 40 going back to the bank, and 2 20s come here, so 20, 40. So CashBee still has 150, 100, 120, 40, 50, 150. Next we have gifts, and this only has $30, so I don't think we can do anything here. It's better to have smaller denominations in here, so I think we'll just leave it as is. 30. Next is future, and it has 45. And these don't have to be in smaller denominations because this is again a long-term saving. So let's swap these two 10s for a 20. So future still has 20, 45. Next is house deposit, which has 120, 20, 40, 60, 80, 120. So let's just leave a 20 in here. And then this 100, 20, 40, 60, 81, yes. This 100 goes to the bank, and we put in $100 placeholder. So house deposit still has 120. And lastly, we have personal growth, which has 45, 20, 30, 45. So again, 2 10s for a 20. So it still has 20, 45. And that's it. But let's go back to parents and household and swap those 10s for a 20 now that we have it. So let's see what we can do here. 10, 20, 30, 40. So we'll get 2 20s in here. and parents still have 50, 100, 120, 140, which is correct, 140. And then household, we'll just do one set of tens, so 2 tens for a 20. We'll keep the others in smaller denominations. So 100, 20, 30, 40, 50, 55, 60. Still the 160 that we are supposed to have. Okay, and that's it for the sinking funds / a few of the long-term savings. And now let's get into the savings challenges. So let's see. Spring has 20, 40, 60, 80, 1, 20, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 85, 90. Okay, so instead of these two fives, let's do it in parts. So instead of these two fives, let's get a 10, and then 10, 20, 30, 40, but I don't want to get a 50 in here, so 40, 10, 20, 30, 40. So let's get 2 20s for that. So now this is 20, 40, 60, 80, 90, and this is 100, I believe. 20, 40, 60, 80, 1, yes. So this 100, we'll get a 10 for that. I don't want to have a 50 here because then again the 50s and the 20s will be together and it's difficult to count. So it should still have 190. 100, 20, 40, 60, 80, 90. 190 for spring. Next is the $500 challenge, and I think I'm happy with the way this is because in my last video I did replace the placeholders with cash. So I don't think I want to touch this, but let's just count this quickly. 51, 52, 50, 300, 320, 40, 60, 80, 400, 10, 20, 30, 430. Let's leave it like this because when I add another $70, this challenge will be completed and then I can allocate this money into the sinking funds. So just let's leave it like this only so that I can budget accordingly. Because if I have, let's say I've got $400 here, if I have $100 bills, $400 of $100 bills, then it'll be difficult to allocate it into the sinking funds because I'll have to put in $100 at least per category, and I don't want to do that. So let's leave it this way. Next is rainy day, and this has 10, 25. So let's just get a 20 instead of these 10s. So 25. Next is Happy Heart, and it only has a $10 bill. So nothing to do there. Roll the dice. Let's see what this has. $15 is what I'm going to be stuffing in my May week 1 cash stuffing. So 100, 150, 170, 190, 210, 20, 30, 35, 235. So let me grab a sip of water. Okay, so let's see. I can do a okay, 10, 20, 40. No, so it has to be this. Okay, I think I've got it. So 20, 40, 50. Let's get a 50 for this. $50 bill. And this will still be easier to count with, even though 50s and 20s are together, because there are two 50s, so that becomes kind of like an even count. So let's see, 100, 150, 200, 220, 30, 35. So yeah, let's leave it like this. I could get in another 100 as well. Should I do that? Should I get in 100 instead of the 50s? Yeah, okay, let's do this. I'm sure that I'm going to finish Rainbow sooner than Roll the Dice, and I would need smaller denominations for Rainbow. So for Roll the Dice, let's get in 100 instead of the 50s, and I can use these 50s for my Rainbow challenge. So two 50s, we are getting 100 instead. So Roll the Dice still has 100, 200, 20, 30, 35. Okay. Next is Rainbow. And Rainbow has 100, 200, 300, 20, 40, 60, 80, 1. So 400. 20, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 85, 90, 95. So 495. Okay, first. Okay. So 20, 40, 60, 80, 1. Instead of this, let's get the two 50s. And then for this, two 5s, let's get a 10 for that. And now let's see what we have. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Should I? Okay, let's do it. Let's just do it. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Let's get a 50 in here. Okay. So Rainbow still has 100, 200, 300, 350, 400, 450, 470, 495. 495. By the end of this challenge, I will have $700, and we are already at almost 500. So definitely I'm going to complete this before I complete Roll the Dice. Okay, and then the last one is Month Ahead. Oh, sorry, it's not the last one. We still have a few. Oh my god, my brain is not working today. 20, 40, 60, 80. No, I'm not getting a 50 in here. We'll just leave it as is. 80. Okay. $5 bills. Let's see. So we should have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 50, 75, 100, 125, 130. Should be 130. 50, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Yes, so 130. Let's start from the back actually. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. So let's get a 50 for that. And then 5, 10, 15, 20. So let's get a 20. And it still has 50, 100, 120, 130. So much thinner, so much thinner. We got rid of all those fives. Okay, $10 challenge, $10 bills. And this should have 50, 100, 140. So 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 10, 20, 30, 40, 140. So again, let's start from the back. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Let's get a 50. And then 10, 20, 30, 40. So let's get two 20s. And $10 bill savings challenge, although it doesn't have any tens, but it still has 50, 100, 120, 140. And now, lastly, the $20 bills. So this should have 100, 200, 260. So 100, 20, 40, 60, 80, 200, 20, 40, 60. Do I even... Okay, I don't have enough. So what I'm going to do is 20, 40, 60, 81. So instead of that, let's do 150s, and then let's leave this as is. So it still has 100, 150, 200, 220, 40, 60. It's still easier to count. And that's it for the bill swap. So much thinner. Here's the sinking funds. Sinking funds has a lot of envelopes. That's why it still looks a bit thick. But next month you'll see I'll have a new binder and I'll divide this up into my long-term savings as a separate binder. Okay, now let's count this up, and we should have 850 that we started with. So let's get my calculator and start with the 20s. 20, 40, 60, 81, 20, 40, 60, 82, 20, 40, 60, 80. So 280. My goodness, that's a huge chunk of tens. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 91. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 92. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 93. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 94. 10, 20. So plus 420, 700. That means this should be 150. Let's check. 5, 10, 15, 20, 35, 45, 55, 65, 75, 85, 95, 100. 5, 10, 15, 25, 35, 45, 50. So plus 150, and we have 850. So even though I have a foggy brain, this all worked out. So that's good. Let's do a quick fan. That's a big chunk of money. Let's see here. Wow. This always brightens up my day. I think I'm gonna feel much better after this video. Okay. That looks really good. Really, 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 really good. All right. Done. Now, as usual, guys, give me a minute. Let me get the month-end review sheet so we can see what we did or how we did this month. Hold on a second. Okay, so I have zoomed you guys in a little bit so you can see better. So this is my month-end review sheet. This is for the month of April. I have put in the ending balance of March over here. The ones that do not have any amount are new envelopes that were introduced this month. And then this is the current balance. So this is what I have in my envelopes now in the end of April. So let's check. So my long-term savings I've put up here on the top. So these are my long-term savings. And then these are my kind of like my short-term sinking funds. And then these are my savings challenges. So let's start checking what is the difference. So emergency, we ended March with 600 and now we have 900. So that's a positive 300. Travel, right now we have 230 and we had 85, so that's plus 145 in travel, which is really good. And these three are new envelopes. They didn't have anything in March, so that means all of this are positive. 45, 120 and 45. So for my long-term savings, I have saved 300 plus 145 plus 45 plus 120 plus 45. So 655 in April. April itself, we have saved 655 in our long-term savings. Now let's check the sinking funds. So 130 minus 80, that's 50. 50 in health, a positive 50 in health. 160 minus 230, so that's a negative 70 for household. And then spending is a positive 10. Parents is a positive 50, right? 150 minus 90. Yes. Self-care is a negative 40. YouTube is a negative 20. Home decor is plus 30. And CashBee is a plus 40. And then gifts again is a new envelope. So this is plus 30. So let's see what we have for our sinking funds. So that's 50 minus 70 plus 10 plus 50 minus 40 minus 20 plus 30 plus 40 plus 30 equals 80. So that's a plus, and this is a plus 80 overall. So 80 here and 655 here. And now let's get into our savings challenges. Spring is a new challenge, so that's a plus 190. $500 is 430 minus, I hope you guys can see it still, 430 minus 260, so that's a plus 170. Rainy day is a new challenge, and so is Happy Heart. And then roll the dice, we have 235 minus 170, so that's plus 65. For rainbow, we have 495 minus 310, so that's plus 185. And then month ahead again is a new envelope, so that's plus 80. So overall, for our savings challenges, we have 190 plus 170 plus 25 plus 10 plus 65 plus 185 plus 80. So that's 725 for our savings challenges. So overall, in the month of April, we have managed to set aside 725 plus 80 plus 655, so 1460. That's what we have managed to set aside in April. And then if we want to compare it to March end, let's just quickly give this account so we know how much we had in the end of, but then this won't be an accurate number because in March we were still doing the winter savings challenge, we were doing hair treatment, goal getter, all of those. So actually let's not give this account because this will not be an accurate count. Next month will be better because then all these envelopes are going to be carried forward next month, so that would be a better estimate. But this month it is 1460. Yes, what we can do here is we can count this entire column, and that would give us the total amount of money we have in our envelopes, which includes placeholders as well. That means not all of it is here in cash, here as in my binders are right here. So not all of this would be in cash, but this is what we've managed to set aside. So yeah, we can just quickly give this account. Okay, let's see, 900 plus 230 plus 45 plus 120 plus 45 plus 130 plus 160 130 140 55 30 85 150 30 190 230 25 10 235 495 and 80. So 5,115. This is what we have managed to save, or I don't know what is the right word to use here, but put into our envelopes. 5,115, which is really, really great. I have been, April was my 4th month of cash stuffing, cash budgeting. Before this, I was swiping and tapping my debit card and credit cards left, right, and center. And not in Canada, back in my home country, back in India. But here, my goal in Canada is to be more mindful about my spendings, reduce it as much as possible, focus on savings, personal growth, and all of that. So, new country, new me, hopefully. That's the goal. So, that's it, guys. This is my month end review and my bill swap. I'm sorry if it wasn't as interesting as always. I'm not feeling that great today, but I think I just need to rest a little bit. If I have a good night's sleep, I will be much better tomorrow. So I will see you again shortly with my May week one cash stuffing. Until then, you guys have an excellent week. Keep smiling, stay safe, and happy budgeting. Bye bye.